Everyone, welcome back to Touch the Fire Twice. I'm Joshua, and I'm here today to do an in-depth sniff comparison and review of the Bath & Body Works 14.5 ounce 3-wick candle Champagne Margarita from the early spring 2022 Core White Barn candle collection. This one here is fairly popular, it seems, from like early reports on social media, at least with folks. And there's something that most people agree that it is likely a straight up duplicated repackage of, and then there are a couple of other scents that it's very similar to or kind of pulls parts from here and there. So I'm going to sniff this, talk about what I think of it in general, and then do a comparison with, I've got two scents here from the vaults, if you will, to compare this to give the comparison of what I think. So starting with just what we have here. So it's this Core White Barn collection, a really pretty, I'd call this like an aquamarine, a little teal-ish, but aquamarine for the most part, matte glass with the gold lid, which many, if not all, the White Barn Core collection have that thin gold lid with a gold metallic and textured label on the front here. And so Champagne Margarita lists right on the front there, sweet lime, champagne, and sugarcane. And if we go down to the bottom, freshly squeezed lime, bubbly champagne, sugarcane crystals with natural essential oils. So you see that there. And this one was poured, it looks like, late in 2021, which makes a lot of sense. So the idea being Champagne Margarita. I'm a cocktail enthusiast in addition to, fragrance enthusiast. I've never had a margarita. I've had many different types of margaritas, but I've never had, I don't know if I've ever had like a bubbly one, unless maybe there's a little bit of like a seltzer thrown in there. And I don't think I've had it with like Prosecco or something mixed in with it. Certainly I've had like, citrus-based mimosas and bellinis and things like that may have lime juice in addition to other things in there, but not particularly specifically champagne or any sparkling wine. As most people know, champagne is simply the champenois method that is used and produced within Champagne, France only. So you can use that method elsewhere, but it can't be called champagne. It has to be produced in that very specific region for it to be champagne, but is commonly accepted, again, as a type of sparkling wine that most people are familiar with. And of course, margarita, you're talking tequila and lime juice, and usually some other Cointreau or triple sec or some sort of orange liqueur in there as well. But of course, there are a billion variations on margaritas, and it's definitely one of my faves. That said, the combination is intriguing. I do think it's mostly marketing, however. So, right top of mind, I will say the name on this doesn't work for me. I wouldn't call it champagne or margarita, actually, but it is very good. In fact, at the recent candle sale, I bought a backup of this because I really, really do enjoy it. Certainly more of a summer scent than spring, which, I'm recording this and purchasing these in January, as the seasons are always, way ahead at retail. So again, they're looking for lime, champagne, and sugarcane crystals. It is very, very sweet. The lime, it is primarily lime. There might be a little bit of other citrus in there, but very much so heavy on the lime, but not an astringent lime, not a cleaner lime, not even really lime zest, really the juice and pulp of lime, heavily sweetened with a ton of sugar, which they list here, sugarcane crystals. So kind of a traditional limeade in that sense, just very, very, very lime, maybe a little bit of key lime because it's a little sweeter, almost kind of like the floral essence you get from a key lime versus the traditional limes. And the champagne, I don't think it's champagne, most likely. It's more just effervescence, so Sprite, soda, pop, whatever you call it, a lemon lime soda. I don't think it has sort of the nuances or complexities of a grape-based wine that's turned into sparkling wine or champagne or anything like that. Champagne, you often get kind of like many, many fruit notes, and you get sort of this mouthfeel of this flavor that is kind of rich and can almost be like, buttery or milky or all kinds of things going on from the yeast that was used for fermentation. This doesn't have, understandably and expectedly so, doesn't really have any of that. But like Bath & Body Works does when they do it well, there is a very significant bubbly, sparkling, carbonated essence to this, which, call it champagne, that's fine. It's bubbles, it works. Actually keep smelling it because it's just really straightforward. It's so good. The name is silly. It really could be, lemon lime soda, lemon lime bubbly spritzer. They could call it anything in a drink collection. It would fit really well because it's probably the best lime, straight lime, kind of limeade, bubbly, sweet scent that I've smelled in wax, maybe across the board. The performance on this has also been very, very good. So I had this lit in my kitchen, really, really crazy strong, strong pool, strong wicks. The throw was very good, even with smelling it upstairs really easily, which doesn't always happen from downstairs. Blew it out and then ran a couple of errands, came back in the house and could smell it almost immediately. A lot of times I don't like that to happen because it's the salty caramel or the summer boardwalks or some candles that are just way too heavy and intense that do that. But this was, it lingered, but the intensity of it wasn't overwhelming. So you have the idea of, there's the intensity and there's the throw and there's the longevity. So I'd say, intensity is a solid, 7 or so. The throw is like an 8 or 9, and the longevity is probably an 8 or 9 as well. So that's a good balance there where you've got to, it's not going to overwhelm you with that. And if you like something else, it's going to, something else will take that over, which is fine. But it just really feels like, spring or summer day, refreshing beverage. You pour it in and it, has little bubbles like it's a, soda commercial or something. It's definitely the sugar, almost sugar crystals. Like it could be, maybe if it were to be like, an alcoholic beverage that has, is rimmed with sugar, which usually margaritas are rimmed with salt, but some people prefer sugar rims because you almost get like the crunchiness of those crystals because it's so sweet. And just that straightforward, really pretty lime. I love it. I didn't really expect to. I thought it would be interesting. But when I think of things like the Island Margarita, I don't often buy that because it also is nothing like a margarita. It's got kiwi and other tropical fruits and barely any lime edge to it. Bath & Body Works has done lime more, I'd say primarily in the Slatkin era when there was lime ice and then there were a couple of others somewhere around that. Sparkling Mojito was great with the lime and the bubbles. And then I want to say post Slatkin when they did Tequila Lime Cupcake, I want to say Key Lime Granita. Those were quite authentic limes, similar to this, similar family. I didn't pull them out of my, I keep saying the vault, out of my candle room, because they're very clearly different than this, but similar in the sense that they are a true lime versus just generic citrus and a true sweet, kind of sparkling edge to it, though those have a different focus and different things going on in them. But really great interpretation of lime. Now everyone's saying, and I pretty much tend to agree, that this is just a straight up repackaged duplicate of the Frosted Moscow Mule, which came out it was in an Art Deco collection in basically the semi-annual sale of the winter 2020 going into 2021 last year. I don't remember what other scents were in it, but it was actually a really nice collection. Felt kind of like a throwaway in the sense that typically when they have collections that come out around some annual sale, they're not really a collection that's going to last for the entire next 3 to 6 months for a season. It's just kind of there for a little while for something newness during when everyone else is getting candles that have been around for months on good discount, hopefully good discount. But this one was a lot of I'd say care and attention was put into the art direction of it because there's that very much that Art Deco design with, even just the shape and the font and the design. It's got a velveteen sort of label, which I don't know if I've ever seen them do outside of this collection. Really nice kind of jewel toned glass colors, black lids, just really nice collection. That said, notes in this one, sweet lime, lemon zest, and sugar cane. Now, a frosted Moscow Mule, or Moscow Mule, is typically going to be, it's a cocktail, not unlike champagne margarita, but a Moscow Mule specifically is going to be lime juice and usually ginger beer, which is just a more intense, ginger beer is not alcoholic, it's just a very intense version of kind of your ginger ale that you're used to, but usually a little bit more natural or more actual ginger root within the beverage, and a hefty dose of lime. So essentially lime and ginger with some flavorless vodka thrown on top of it for your kick. This, again, bad name, great idea for a candle. I think ginger and lime would be nice together. This was lime, lemon, and sugar. There was no ginger in this whatsoever, so the name was a bit disappointing. But, and I burned it probably what, about halfway or so. So it's, I would say, I do think it's probably, when I first smelled the Champagne Margarita, I was like, oh, straight up repackaged, no question. I think that's probably still the case. However, something is different about this in the, at least in the intensity. The throw, the almost syrupy sweetness in this might be kicked up a bit. And this one, again, this hasn't been burned for a year and it was halfway burned down. So obviously the scent can change a bit with Bath & Body Works candles at the halfway point because they tend to get a little singed. The oils just kind of lose some of their authenticity and quality. This is just a little bit duller, which again, I'm not saying it's, I can't say for sure whether it's the same or not. Oftentimes I can be pretty confident in saying that. They're, different executions of the same thing though. I would say that very confidently. I don't think this is a mix of other margaritas. I don't think this was its own standalone one and done. I really do think that this is probably just a repackaged, new marketing, because a lot of people probably don't know what frosted Moscow Mule was. They know everyone will know what a margarita is and what champagne is. A little bit more straightforward and digestible for the masses. But they may have strengthened it, just made it sweeter, stronger, potentially same exact blend with just a higher intensity, percentage of the fragrance oils. The other one I'll compare to that is, I'd say, also quite similar, but definitely not a dupe, is Summertime Soda Pop. This came out first. It was a failed test scent within the, I think it was like the Lakeside collection packaging that was summer of 2013. And then this one came out, it was mid 2018. It might have been around the semi-annual sale. I think it was an entire collection with this kind of pop art, really like fun. The notes on this one, crisp lime, zesty lemon, splash of soda. So pretty much the same notes when it comes down to it. A lemon, a lime, a soda. They are different. This is the Summertime Soda repackaged from 2013, I want to say. The difference between these two, they are very similar. This is much sweeter, and actually this is less bubbly. For saying that it has bubbly champagne in it, and this one just says splash of soda, this has less of that sparkling, like hit your nose, feel like there's fizz in it. This one is very much significantly fizzy. And there's probably a little bit more lemon in this, maybe even a little bit of like lemon flower, or lemon blossom or something like that. Because there is something that's just a little bit outside of just the soda. This isn't just like, your Sprite, your Sierra Mist, or whatever it might be, or your sparkling limeade or lemonade. And this also has like what feels like to me, I think one of the ways that they kind of put this feeling into the bubbly candles is it's almost like citric acid. Like when you think of the stuff that's outside of, like a Sour Patch Kid or a lemon head, like citric acid. So it's tart, it's acidic, but it's not necessarily overwhelming. And it gives that kind of little kick, which is almost the like that you have with this too. That could be, a mixture of like the acidity of, the juice of the lemon or the lime, if it was super fresh. But it's almost like a little bit of citric acid kick in this, where this one is softer, where it's just all sugary, sweet, with a little bit of a bubble to it. I like them both. They're very different. This one's more authentic to its name. Similar fragrance in the sense that they're both lemon and they're both lime. This one, again, pretty much I would say the same thing. All told, this one I almost like the best. I think maybe because it is such a great throw, consistent burner. I've been really happy with it again so far. I've only done maybe a couple hours on it, but really, really good performance up until now. So TBD if it does a dud in disguise. As Little Belvedere used to say, we're halfway through, it becomes a dud. But hopefully that doesn't happen. We don't say that a whole lot anymore. But overall, again, I love this one. It's not champagne or margarita, but it is lemon, lime, bubbly sweet. And I think it's a great one to pick up, maybe to hold on to for when you really want something fresh in the spring, or certainly a great summer burner. So let me know what you think, what else you think it could be compared to, if you like it, if you love it, if you don't like it. Would love to hear your opinions. And until next time, guys, take care.